Well, let's just take a deep breath here for a moment as we give thanks to God for a life well lived, a life that has touched so many others, including mine. When I last saw Barbara, it was just a few days before she passed away. Her first comment to me in the hospital, where she was at the time, was, "Well, what goofy things are you going to tell about me?" To which I responded, "What goofy things do you want me to tell, Barbara?" "Oh, you'll think of something." This was Barbara Hale's unique way of asking this pastor to do her eulogy. So here I am. If I know what's good for me, I better do what she told me to do, right? Okay. So here goes. There are a few goofy things that come to mind, but one in particular stands out. Over the years, I was invited numerous times to meals at the Hales' home. Quite often, we sat at the big dining table there, near the kitchen. The food was always delicious, the food that Barbara prepared. It was wonderful. But what was weird were all those cats. Now, there were a lot of dogs, but they were outside. Not the cats. They were inside, hanging around the table. There was one that always paced back and forth on the kitchen counter near the table. But the one that really bothered me was that cat perched on some kind of a ledge just above the dining table. It always seemed poised and ready to pounce, which unnerved me. But not the unflappable Barbara Hale. She never even seemed to notice. Just kept talking and eating as if everything was perfectly under control. Well, I don't know if there's Wheel of Fortune in heaven, but if there is, I know who'll be watching it tonight as Pat Sajak makes his last appearance on that show. We're saying goodbye to Barbara, and Pat, goodbye to you too. Well, enough of the goofy, and on to the good things, of which there are so many. Barbara Hale was a born teacher. She always knew that she wanted to teach. That desire may have been kindled in childhood, when her grandmother taught her to knit, or when she learned to read. Both knitting and reading were lifetime passions for her. At any rate, by the time Barbara was in high school, she knew for certain that she was going to be a kindergarten teacher, which she did for over 15 years in the Atlanta Public Schools, and then for many, many years in Union County, where she started the very first kindergarten program. Eventually, she began to teach aspiring teachers here at Young Harris College, where, as Mama Hale, she served as the beloved faculty advisor to generations of young women. Her teaching career spanned over 42 years. Incredible. But Barbara was more than a teacher just to those who were her students. She was also a teacher to her children and to her grandchildren. They remember well her sayings, don't you?
You don't have to want to. You just have to do it.
That's it, yes. You don't have to want to, you just have to. Did you get that? That's what they call a Nino-ism. Nino-ism. She got that name from Josh, her oldest grandchild, who, for some reason known perhaps only to God, called her Nino. And so there are these Nino-isms in the family, like the one you just heard. There are lots of others, some related to one of her pet peeves, correct grammar. Me don't do anything, but I can.
You don't lay down, you lie down.
Okay, that's right. And along the same line, I think it was people lie down, chickens lay eggs. Is that right? Yes, yes. And when something was lost, she would say, it's in a nice, safe place. Of life and people, there were many sayings, Nino-isms, just alike, only different. Everybody to their own notion, said the old woman as she kissed the cow. Then to Brittany, she said, when confronted with stage 4 lung and liver cancer, sometimes life gets so exciting you can hardly stand it. Barbara's influence extended beyond her family and her kindergarten and college students to a number of foreign exchange students who lived with the Hale family as they attended Towns County High School. The very first one of these exchange students came from Finland, Taina, in 1977-78. Then from Germany came Uta in 1978-79. Then another from Finland, Marka, in 79-80, and finally Maria from Finland in 1981-82. One of these former exchange students is here today, Taina, who has come all the way from Finland. Taina, come now and share about your American mama with us.
So, hello everyone. So there were 3 exchange students from Finland. So I was the first one, and I've been very good friends with all of them. And I just got a text before I left for church today saying that they wish they would be here. When I came here in 1977, I think I was quite a timid and shy person. But this year, with the Hale family, with Daddy and Mom Hale, and Melanie and Valerie, of course, changed me and changed my life, I think. So because, and thanks to them, I became braver and more confident, more open to the world, actually. Finns are said to be really quiet and not talkative, but I proved that wrong, I think. Well, as you know, Mama was a force of nature, and she wanted everyone to grow to the full potential they are. And this I felt, really. Me being shy and timid, she pushed me out of my comfort zone to try new things and have the courage to do that. She made me take initiative, attend functions that I didn't want to go to. For example, a wedding of a friend of a friend of a friend, give speeches and encounter new people and talk to them in English, of course. And as has been pointed out here today many times, she never missed an opportunity to help with my English and grammar. And maybe that's one of the reasons that has made me an English teacher. So I got that gene from here. We also shared an interest in sewing. I've been sewing for all my life, from a very young age, but I got encouraged to do more sewing here, and we actually sewed all my American wardrobe here with Mama Hale, and it was very inspiring. I still sew, knit and crochet, but of course nothing like Mama did. And when I graduated from university as a teacher, Mama gave me a final wonderful gift. She was an active member of Delta Kappa Gamma, which is an international women key educators society, and she has been a member for over 60 years. And she wanted me to join too. So, through all her contacts, she found out the address and email address of the Finnish DKG president, and she got me invited into the society. And I have been a very proud and active member all over these 20 years, and actually I have been a Finnish president, state president of DKG. By the way, she never referred it to as DKG, it was Delta Kappa Gamma. Proper. Yes, okay. There's this wonderful poem by Eino Leino, which is, he's been dead over 100 years now, but this is a poem that is very often read at funerals and memorial services. And I would like to pay my respects to Mama Hale and tell her how much I loved her with this poem by Eino Leino. The translation is mine, so I'm sorry for that. I am free from pain and flying with the wind. I may walk on the brink of eternity. I am a twinkle of a star, and like a passing cloud, a drop of morning dew so mild. I'm not gone, but will come to you with every rising sun, and with every setting sun will wish you good night. Love you, Mama and Daddy.
Another of the former foreign exchange students, Uta, could not be here today, but she has sent a very lovely tribute, which I will read portions of it. I was 15 years old when I came to Young Harris. I turned 16 at the end of September that year. At the Hales, I shared Valerie's room. Melanie was mostly away at college. Valerie was a year younger and Melanie 2 years older than I. I remember that the Hales decided right away that I should go into 12th grade at Towns County High School, although I had only finished 10th grade in Germany at the time. They proved to be right, though. I graduated as an honor student. I was treated just like their own daughters, and I felt very much at home with my American mama and daddy. That's how I called them. And my sisters, Valerie and Melanie. I remember clearly that Mama and Daddy were quite stern with me when they heard that I spoke German with another exchange student. Got to learn that English. On the other hand, they arranged for me to go on a one-day skiing trip in winter since I had never been. Mama sewed a caftan for me to wear around the house, and she also made my very beautiful prom dress. I was allowed to use the sewing machine for a home economics project and the typewriter. You remember those? Whenever I wanted. She took me shopping for clothes and was very much like my own mother. Over the years, I came back for visits numerous times, and I was always welcome, as were my friends and my family. Mama remembered how much I loved fruit and always had a plate ready for me. She sent each of us foreign exchange students a self-made Christmas ornament every year. I have a collection of more than 45 now, since she sent 2 or 3 sometimes. Last year, my grandson helped me decorating the tree with only those ornaments. It was beautiful. I remember that Mama had clever ideas to fix things. She was the handyman around the house. Not Jim Hale. I've learned a lot from her over the years. Mulching the garden, for example. I loved her casseroles, her soups, and her cornbread. She also told me a lot of things about the South, which I really enjoyed, like never wear white shoes after Labor Day. Got that? Or, if you have a stain on your clothes, just walk faster. That's good. That's a Ninoism, I think, don't you? Yeah, that's good. That's good. We shared a love for reading and for browsing the thrift stores. I love that Mama and Daddy had such an open and welcoming house for college students, and especially for this very young foreign girl. They visited with my parents, who came to see them as well. They were there for my youngest brother, Jan, when he went to Georgia Tech. They organized 2 concert trips in the Young Harris area for the Pasanen Corps. That's a brass band. They came from her hometown of Schlüsselburg twice, once in 1987 and then in 1990. Being an exchange student, a daughter in the house of the Hale family, had a huge impact on me. With Mama Hale gone now, it feels like an era has come to an end. I'm extremely sad, but I'm also very happy that I got to see the family often and was there for Mama Hale's 90th birthday party in December. I'm sorry I can't be there for her memorial service. I will miss seeing the family again. I'm still very much a sister and an aunt to the Hales, and old friends who've been lovely over the years. I wish all my American family and my longtime friends all the best and hope to see them again one of these days. Much love from Germany, Uta. Meg and I were just in Germany, where we spent a week with Uta and her husband, Volker. They were very, very much concerned about Mama Hale. Thankfully, we made it home in time to see her one more time. She was in the hospital, Melanie by her side, as always. During that last visit, Barbara shared about 2 visions that she had experienced in her lifetime. The first vision was about going to Agnes Scott College, which she did. The second vision was about marrying a guy named Jim Hale, or Jimmy, as she loved to call him. It was a vision that she had on the steps of the library at Emory University. There she stood, and she saw herself married to James Morgan Hale. It happened. And for 63 years, they shared life together. Of course, it would not have been that long had it not been for Barbara's faithful care of Jim through his numerous health issues and medical procedures. She kept well the vow that she made those 63 years earlier, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. Though fiercely independent, Barbara's life was also enriched by the support of family and friends. I am sure that she deeply appreciated all that so many family and friends did for her, especially in her latter years. When I learned about Barbara's passing on that Friday morning, I was sitting at my desk in my study at home. It was a beautiful day. I was